Leaders who bring out the best in others. People have often described their meetings with the great British Prime Minister William Ewart Gladstone as challenging, leaving individuals feeling intellectually inferior. In contrast, Benjamin Disraeli, Gladstone's rival, had a knack for making people feel important and valued. They are two leaders from the same country, yet they have contrasting approaches. How can this be? Benjamin Disraeli is well known for his ability to bring out the best in others. Is this a trait unique to him? Not exactly. Leaders like him, referred to as multipliers by Liz Wiseman and Greg McKeown, exist worldwide. Broadly speaking, a leader is either a multiplier or a diminisher. The titles have probably provided an overview of each category, but let's dig deeper. Many things differentiate multipliers from diminishers. One of them is their perception of intelligence. Multipliers see intelligence as something that can be cultivated in others. They don't believe in the concept of a dumb person. Recognize and address your team members' challenges and aspirations. On the other hand, diminishers hold a skewed view of intelligence, perceiving only a select few, including themselves, as truly intelligent. Diminishers believe others will never figure things out without them, making them think their intelligence is an excuse to be oppressive and controlling. Furthermore, diminishers find it difficult to trust people to complete a given task and are quick to criticize any signs of struggle or failure. This summary focuses on multipliers, leaders who amplify the intelligence of those around them. It explores why and how these leaders enhance the capabilities of everyone around them. It also describes how to apply the multiplication logic to maximize underutilized people and multiply intelligence without requiring a huge investment. Curious already? This is just the beginning. 5 practices of a great leader. In some cases, diminishers and multipliers work in similar ways. For example, both seek intelligent individuals and view themselves as leaders. However, 5 distinct disciplines and practices set multipliers apart from diminishers. Multipliers, unlike diminishers, attract and optimize talent. Multipliers lead by assisting individuals in discovering their talents and putting them to use. Conversely, diminishers focus on personal gains, acting as empire builders who aim to own and control resources for increased productivity. In short, the diminisher is a private empire builder, while the multiplier builds other people. Create intensity that requires thinking. Multipliers establish a distinctive and highly stimulating work atmosphere, providing everyone the freedom to excel. They function as liberators, a comfortable and safe environment for their team. But diminishers are tyrannical, making life challenging and stressful for their subordinates. Extend challenges. Multipliers operate as challengers by creating more opportunities, while diminishers adopt a know-it-all approach, always wanting to showcase their knowledge because they believe no one else knows better. Debate decisions. Multipliers encourage others to contribute and debate an issue before making decisions. Diminishers don't give room for debate. They make decisions independently, leaving the organization in the dark. Instill ownership and accountability. Multipliers maintain success by serving as investors. They inspire commitment from others. In contrast, diminishers jump to conclusions, taking charge of every decision or profit. Invest in personal and professional development opportunities for your team. Multipliers don't take themselves or situations too seriously. They're confident, calm, and won't force respect or purposefully draw attention to themselves. Some individuals become accidental diminishers by assuming excessive responsibility in a group or organization, believing it is their role to be the smartest. But the good news is they can still become multipliers with the right mindset. Cultivate your interest in others. Someone who works too hard tends to be a diminisher. Diminishers only care about building themselves and their space. They're rarely interested in grooming talent or bringing others into the limelight. But there's genius in everyone, and only multipliers go out of their way to discover raw talents and help them. Multipliers aim to uplift individuals so they can become multipliers like themselves. Be open with your team members about company goals, challenges, and successes. Driven by their free will and humility, multipliers can attract talented people and maximize their potential. They attract top talent as people desire to work under their leadership. Diminishers amass resources without fully utilizing talent. Instead of developing talent, they merely own it. Multipliers naturally ensure a steady flow of talent. This accelerates individual growth, intelligence, and capability. Multipliers believe in identifying the genius in people and using it positively. Moreover, diminishers doubt individuals' ability to succeed independently and think people need to be pushed and taught how to do things correctly. Treat all team members fairly and without bias. As a leader, remember to reward creative thinking and solutions. Anyone working with or around a diminisher will find it hard to make tangible progress as empire builders destroy the talent under their watch. They dim the light of those around them by always wanting to take credit, which makes them more concerned about personal assets than bringing in new talent. In short, diminishers often cost organizations more than they contribute. The good news is becoming a talent magnet and builder like Multipliers is possible. Here are a few tips. Become a genius watcher. Pull some weeds. Remove diminishers. Multipliers encourage people to grow and help them improve in general, providing letters of recommendation to help people move on to the next stage. They also liberate people to think, speak, and act with reason. They create a conducive environment where ideas surface and people do their best work. Some of the benefits of being a multiplier or having a multiplier around you include an overflow of ideas, adaptation to new environments, complexity and difficulty in the work process, and easily settled operations. Be the challenger, not the know-it-all. Diminishers usually assume their job is gathering all the knowledge and telling others what to do. Their organization revolves only around what the leaders know, putting an artificial limit on their potential. When diminishers lead or organize, the team's true capabilities are stifled, hindering success regardless of their intelligence. Multipliers, or challengers, use their intellect to identify the right opportunities and propel their organizations forward. Multipliers push their teams beyond their knowledge. Consequently, they foster organizations that deeply understand challenges and muster the focus and energy to confront them. Diminishers, acting as experts, only engage others when auditing or confirming understanding. Their queries are more about making a statement than seeking deeper understanding or knowledge. If a leader acts like they have all the answers, the employees will continue to rely on this person only, and failure naturally follows. First, the leader becomes the one who provides all the solutions. Second, the subordinates wait for the directives. Third, the team members act strictly on the leader's answers. Finally, the leader concludes that the team would never have figured this out without a leader's input. On the other hand, the multipliers approach involves two things. First, asking the big intellectual questions, and second, showing that a solution is possible. The multiplier believes and understands that people become smarter by being challenged. Other people get on board with this belief, and the unsolvable problems become solvable. As leaders embrace not having all the answers, they ask bigger questions, shifting the organizational weight. This is the multipliers approach, and it is more rewarding. Did you know Infosys Technologies founder Narayan Amurthy grew the company to $4.6 billion in revenue by hiring people more intelligent than himself and giving them room to contribute, making Infosys one of India's largest and most successful companies? Involve the team in decision-making. Leaders adopt diverse approaches to decision-making. Multipliers involve their team in the process or other aspects of work, encouraging dialogue and debate. These leaders are people-oriented and value the insights their team members can provide. Conversely, diminishers often believe that only a select few are worth hearing. By assuming this standpoint, diminishers leave no opportunity for debate and alternative viewpoints. They go ahead and make their decisions. They depend on their understanding or a close group of advisors at critical moments for decision-making. The three key practices of multipliers in leading debates are understanding the issues, sparking debate, and driving sound decisions. Effective debate facilitators realize that the key to a successful debate lies in the preparation before it commences. They set the stage for the debate, craft relevant questions, and structure the discussion to encourage full participation. By properly framing issues and arranging things beforehand, multipliers tend to gain more capability from their people than their diminisher counterparts. After presenting a problem, multipliers follow the four elements of a great debate: engaging, easily understood, fact-based, and educational. In contrast, diminishers introduce issues or decisions when a problem surfaces, without creating a conducive environment for contribution. When issues get discussed or debated, diminishers already have the perfect solution. They dominate the conversation with their ideas and make selfish decisions, creating a resource drain rather than a resource pool. getting results without your direct involvement. As time goes on, the multiplier's continuous high expectations will rub off on members and make them work towards excellence even without the intervention of the multiplier. Understanding the role of a multiplier prompts individuals to recognize their predominant ownership in the success or failure equation. Diminishers sometimes desire to change. People may have diminishing tendencies with a genuine desire to become multipliers, leading some to falter along the way. Freedom is hammered out on the anvil of discussion, dissent, and debate. Two main obstacles people may encounter when considering the multiplier approach include being stuck underneath a diminisher. Many organizations have a hidden rule that people are not expected to outshine their bosses. However, if you work under a diminishing boss as a diminisher or multiplier, you can decide to be better than your boss and make the organization take notice.
Being overwhelmed. Multipliers are often overwhelmed, and it's worse if they work for a diminishing boss. Becoming a multiplier can be learned, and it takes hard work. A strategic shortcut that can propel you on your journey to becoming a multiplier is trying to have a little knowledge of everything. Leaders do not need to be good at everything, they only need to master some skills. In addition, multipliers can become skilled in asking the right questions and can use questions to improve the organization. Subsequently, multipliers can introduce the spirit of challenge and inquiry into crucial decisions, becoming adept at facilitating debates. The journey to becoming a multiplier centers on a singular concept reiterated persistently while gradually incorporating new abilities. Multiplier leadership is significant globally, notably in developing countries. Leaders who can extract and utilize all available intelligence to solve complex challenges are needed. Famous entrepreneurs Thomas and Andreas Strungman are examples of multipliers who have used the disciplines and principles to excel. Multipliers lead by building up others to become like them. They believe in bringing out the best in others. In contrast, diminishers seek personal glory, hindering the progress of those around them. Diminishers think they're the best, so they don't want others to do better or outshine them. Embracing the multiplier mindset is a daily decision with immense benefits. A solitary diminisher who transforms into a multiplier can make a significant, widespread difference in a world rife with challenges and untapped potential. Diminishers impede organizational progress, while multipliers are catalysts for advancement. Multipliers usually get 2 times more positive results than diminishers. Also, multiplier-led teams often experience a 10% growth bonus since their members become smarter and more capable. Optimizing organizational resources requires embracing a new corporate multiplication logic. Instead of adding new resources, extract the full potential of your team, just like multipliers do, and watch growth happen. Start by refraining from answering questions yourself and begin asking your team in your quest to become a multiplier. Try this. Compile a list of 8 to 10 colleagues you frequently interact with. Observe which tasks they complete most easily. Identify the innate abilities that enable their excellence in certain activities. After forming conclusions about each individual, evaluate your assumptions and adjust your perspective. Apply your insights by outlining 5 roles that capitalize on each person's potential.